and it's like they antagonized us.
You served some time in the military, I see?
Yes.
You were with the United States Army for a couple of years?
Yes.
All right. I
didn't form an opinion on Mr. Chauvin because I didn't know him, but I just said it's like, it's sad. It's another black man being murdered in police hands. That's all I could say.
Right. What are the specific reasons that you would want to be on the jury?
Because me as a black man, you see a lot of black people get killed and no one's held accountable for it. And you wonder why or what was the decisions. And so with this, maybe I'll be in the room to know why.
You have a first-hand experience deliberating in a jury room, right?
Yes.
Did you enjoy that experience?
It was interesting.
Okay. What was interesting about your experience?
Well, how the jurors interacted and came to the conclusion that we came to. Like I said before, you have to sit and take and evaluate all of the information, guilty or not guilty. I mean, it carries a big weight on you as a person. My opinion doesn't really matter. It's whether if I can do what the judge and what you guys asked me to do. With my character and who I am, I think that I can do what's right.
You can judge this case based exclusively on the evidence in court.
Yes, sir. Being a black man in America, I experience racism on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. How do you feel that would affect your ability to be a juror in this case?
Not at all.
Okay. The Minneapolis police officers are more likely to respond with force when confronting black suspects than with dealing with white suspects, and you strongly agreed with that.
Yes.
Do you have personal experience, or you have people in your family who have experienced such treatment at the hands of the Minneapolis Police Department?
Well, I stayed on 3649 Elliott.
Oh, we're gonna, yeah. Sorry, we don't want your address to go out to this is on TV.
Yep, sorry. I stayed right around in the area where this incident happened. And so on numerous occasions, if someone in the area got shot or someone went to jail, it was known for like the police to ride through the neighborhood when another one bites the dust, and it's like they antagonized us in the area, and you can go to St. Louis Park or Plymouth, and it's none of the treatment like that with whites. So
okay, so you've witnessed this.
Yeah.
In your personal life, right?
Yeah.
You live in the area where this offense is alleged to have occurred, right?
Well, I used to live in that area.
Okay, you used to live in that area. Judge this case exclusively based on the evidence in this case.
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to be glib with you, sir, or I have to take you at face value. All right. The question is, the law presumes Mr. Chauvin innocent of these charges. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Can you apply that?
Yes, sir.
Will you apply that?
Yes, sir. Then, like I said before, it's like, hey, I could be in there and I could make a difference and I could know why.
You want to make a record that you did, off the record, make a challenge for cause.
I did, Your Honor. I made a motion for cause, essentially on the basis that this juror made several remarks regarding the Minneapolis Police Department, his experiences with the Minneapolis Police Department. I'm referring to them as murder, that they had murdered people, that Mr. Floyd was murdered, that he made references to another one biting the dust when he lived in the area, his expressed views about the Minneapolis Police Department, and that those similar behaviors not happening in other neighboring communities. And so I felt that his bias was against the Minneapolis Police Department specifically, and that was the basis of the motion for cause. I recognize that he indicated that he could set that aside. However, in view of the entire context of his testimony as well as his questionnaire, I felt that the cause existed.
Mr. Swisher.
Your Honor, the state opposed and strongly opposed a strike for cause, and I appreciate the court denying that strike. I don't believe that the prospective juror reflecting upon his actual life experience reflected any bias against anyone. He was simply reflecting on reality as he sees and perceives it every single day, as he indicated. And I think it's particularly noteworthy that when he expressed any hesitation about serving on the jury, it was because of the very real prospect that he had embraced, that there could be a guilty verdict or a not guilty verdict, and understanding that that people would be affected by that either way. I think he very strongly and thoughtfully indicated that he could set aside his own personal life experiences and judge the case fairly. I'm disappointed that he was struck. I didn't see a reason to raise a Batson challenge, and I appreciate the court's ruling on the cause.
There was a substantial basis for the defense to exercise a peremptory, that being a strong negative view of Minneapolis Police Department in contrast to suburban police departments, which was interesting. It was not just a global, and so Minneapolis being the department that Mr. Chauvin was a member of at some point, his opinions about this is another black man murdered, certainly an honest opinion, widely held by many people, and that by itself would not justify an excuse. What I am relying on is, in listening to this juror, was when he talked about the response to his jury summons and whether to sit on the jury, and he talked about how, yet this is another black man murdered. But it was interesting that he said he could be fair and impartial, and what he would get out of it is he would have the ability to tell people why, because this time he gets to be in the room, which is, I have certain strong opinions, I can put them aside, and if he had said, I'm going to use those opinions, or even inferred, my inference from what he said was, I can put it aside, and if it is not guilty, I can reach that verdict because I feel comfortable telling people why it happened. And he recognized that on other verdicts that he might have these strong opinions, he wasn't in the room. So he doesn't know why they decided that way, and thus saw this as maybe a chance to tell people why a certain verdict, which would put him right in the middle as far as fair and impartial. I think he was being very introspective about it, that holding these beliefs, but also that these strong beliefs could give, including a very negative opinion of the defendant, could give him a basis, or give the defense a basis for an appropriate challenge, but not for cause. So, cause challenge is denied. He will add that as a peremptory.